this out.
Broadcasting live worldwide.
Hi, Daddy.
Ariel, can you say have faith?
Again.
On June 16th, 2018, a show designed for you, the Daily Commuter, went live. A weekly show all about faith. A show with motivational topics, inspirational stories, and personal testimony set out to change the world.
Have faith, let it begin. One day you'll say it. Can you say have faith, let it begin? Huh? Yeah. Yeah? Alright. Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you.
Welcome to Have Faith. Let it begin. Here's your host, Angel Santana.
Ariel, can you say have faith?
Again.
Let it begin.
Again.
Say have faith.
Again.
Let it begin.
No.
No? Okay. Sometimes in life we deal with depressions. We don't understand why we have to go through it, but we do. And when you're young and you're just starting out, depression can set in at a very young age. I know this because I've dealt with depression. But no one knows about depression more than my guest today. He owns his own podcast and he's just graduating high school. He's a friend of mine. He's an amazing person, and he is a part of his own podcast called Nothing to Something. Today's episode, we welcome Matt Harrington, the host of Nothing to Something, and today he shares something with me that I can't even begin to tell you how much it has impacted me. So, to be very honest with you, this was recorded after I already filmed our show. I had to do an intro because I want to tell you that what he shares with me is something I was not even aware of. Have Faith, Let It Begin starts right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Have Faith, Let It Begin. This is Angel, and alongside with me today, and officially now on a YouTube special, it is the host of another up-and-coming podcast. He's no stranger to us here, and that is Nothing to Something, and that is Matt H. Matt Harrington, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. It's been a while since I've been on the podcast game, but I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to keep making more episodes.
That's cool, man, and we're going to dive right into that. But before we do that, I'm proud of you, man, because for a lot of things. But number one, we're doing this, and we're literally like minutes away from you leaving us. This is like a quick episode because you're going to go graduate.
Yes, I have to do a ceremony for it's a scholarship ceremony, and then graduation comes soon after. So yeah,
it's crazy, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Come back and show us the awards and everything.
Alrighty.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Thank you. No, I'm just playing. No. Listen, we were talking offline a little bit about, how you were off the game. So, there's not going to be a formal title. I'll title this later. So I'm not going to go with the title in mind. I'll figure it out as I edit the piece, the intro and outro. But just by you saying that, what got you off the podcasting? What happened? Anything in particular?
So back at the end of January, February, I had a little rough patch with my girlfriend, and we ended up breaking up for about 3 months. And I got really depressed and sad, and all this stuff that threw me through a loop. And I wanted to come back, but then I had all these college courses and all this makeup work from being depressed that I missed.
Yeah.
And I had to get the COVID shot back in March, and then we got back together, and now it's going good. But it's like I had track starting all of a sudden, so it's all these different layers, and then all of a sudden graduation pops up. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Maybe I could do like an episode or something. And I wanted to reintroduce myself with you because I know it's easier I know you're always down for a podcast episode. So that's why I went for it. And, but it's definitely crazy. The last few months in my life, it's been insane. I've done things just recently I'd never think I would have to do again, or I didn't want to do again, but it's insane what my life has been doing for the last couple months.
let me bring the folks back to speed. We got together the first time, and we have a history. Our families know each other
Hmm.
from our church. So there is one of the things about you. I've watched you grow, and I told you this offline. So this is not something that I'm saying on the air because I want to make myself look quote unquote good. This is something we've already spoke about. You should have called me, man. I this is the first time. Like all of you guys that are hearing this episode, I didn't know this. I didn't know any of this. So
Hmm.
I kind of feel a little responsible because I promised that I would keep in touch with you. So I kind of hold myself responsible because I should have at least reached out. But I didn't know. And I mean, it's not my place to know your business, but
Hmm.
I've been there. I've been there, and I know how it is to go into a depression, especially after a breakup. And we'll touch base on that later. But whenever you get like that, I'm just putting this out to you just so that I can hold myself accountable. I'm saying it on the air now, officially. When you get like that and you have no one to turn to, because I always recommend, obviously, you seek the people that you know the most. But I'm here, and it's,
Hmm.
of course, professional as I am, I didn't turn my phone off. How funny is that? So let's just let's just turn off my text message. This is the first time that's ever happened to play to me. Oh my God, hold on. Sorry. But reach out because you shouldn't go through that alone. No
Hmm.
way. Don't
I
do that.
definitely will reach out
Yeah.
100%.
So
It was just I had so many mixed emotions at the time. I was all over the place.
yeah,
That's a good phrase for it. I was just nonstop moving or nonstop just sitting in my room doing nothing, just
right.
soaking in the depression, if you
That's
will.
the worst, man. It's the worst. And for me, I had to do it. Um, Let me rephrase that. No, I don't want to say rephrase it. Let me reiterate. When I went through my depression, I escaped. I was able to escape because I was old enough that I could take a job transfer. It all kind of like came at the same time, at the right time, and I had to get away. In your case, you're still young, and I mean that in a very respectful way. But more
Yeah.
importantly, you know, relationships, they come and they go. I'm not going to sit here and give you the whole spiel. You've been through it, I'm sure, but um, what I wanted to say, and I kind of put myself off the tracks, was let me bring back what you do. Your show is very inspiring because you deal with real life situations. You have openly opened up about. I didn't sound right. Have openly opened up. You know what I meant. But you have opened up freely that you have gone through depressions. You were
Mhm.
a bully at one
Yeah.
point, and then you had problems even with realizing that you shouldn't be a bully, and then there's his guys, Half Faith Family. This is an amazing show, and I'm saying this because we talk about me and how I don't hold things back. This is a young man who clearly has dealt with a lot of things so early and has put himself out there for others, and you have touched many other people's lives at your age. And
Hmm.
for you to come back even now and just surprise me with another link that hey, I went through another depression. We gotta have another day when we're not rushed. We gotta
Hmm.
sit down and really. I think this is something we need to talk about with a lot of youngsters.
Yeah,
Because
definitely. I would love to elaborate on what I've been through and what advice I would like to give to others listening to the show, and just show them that you're not alone.
yeah,
You never were alone. It's just you need to go looking.
right.
That's what you got to do. It's an adventure, man. I mean, life's an adventure. It's not a challenge. It's just full of challenges. It's not one big challenge, or else it'd be horrible. Why would you?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an
And you,
adventure.
and like us and all of us, you've been dealing with COVID for 2 years. And I say you,
Hmm.
meaning you were in school. That's another episode that we're going to work on together. We're going to bring some students on, including yourself. But if you can give me an idea, how has that affected? Did that at all affect your, you know, did it trigger anything about as far as, depression? Because you weren't out there with other people. You were homeschooled.
Yeah, so I was technically, if you want to say it that way, homeschooled for a few weeks. It was like a hybrid learning. So you would go in like a Monday, Thursday, and then online Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. It was really wacky schedule. But that was I was okay with it. Then we completely shut down twice. And that's what got me. And I was like, how do I deal with this? And at that time we had tests coming up we had a bunch of really not fun things to do in school coming up, like, potential regents and midterms and, all this crazy stuff. Excuse me. And it's just, it was hard. But then I decided to go in person full time in April, before everyone was allowed to at the end of April. I went about the beginning to middle, and it changed the way I thought I could do school. Like, I didn't think I would pass the year. I didn't even think I would, graduate. I had such bad grades. I was failing third quarter in every single class. And
Really?
right now I have 80s and 90s in every single class. So
Was it can I ask a quick question? Was that,
yeah.
and you may have actually said it, but let me just kind of get deeper. Did you think that did your grades suffer because of had to readjust the way of how school was? Like, for example, like, you're in class. I'm an in-class learner. I'm a visual learner. Yes, you're still watching on TV, but then there's distractions because you're home. So
yeah,
would
that
you say
played
that's
a
where your
huge
grades
role.
affected you?
Yeah, because I would lose motivation. I wouldn't even do my homework. I would sit there and be like, well, school day's over. And usually when I go home from school, I don't do much because I already have my homework done. I was used to that routine. So when I logged off, I was like, oh, I'm already home. Well, I guess I won't do my homework then.
Wow.
And I missed in total, I had a missing of 34 assignments in total.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had to make all of them up in 3 days. And I did. And it was it easy? No. Was it worth it? Yes. But
What'd your parents do? Because I know your parents, man. They're like
they were they were not happy. But
yeah,
I
because
wasn't grounded or anything.
Your parents are no joke, and I mean that in a very good way. They're good parents,
Yeah.
man. So I hate to use the D word, man, but they were probably disappointed.
Yeah. I was probably digging my own grave at that point.
Well, stick with the D's, right? Digging your own grave,
Yeah.
disappointment. Yeah. But listen, but think about this for a second. Here you are telling me you missed 34 assignments. But now we're talking about you going into a ceremony with honors.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I just
awesome.
completely flipped it. I had a few instances. I had one a few days ago. I had to save someone's life.
What?
Yes, yeah, that can be a story for another time. But long story short, I am a lifeguard, and lifeguarding had to come into play when I took a senior skip day at the end of what we do every year, and we went cliff jumping. Someone got hurt.
I've done it.
Yeah,
Not
I did
cliff
cliff jumping too.
Not cliff jumping, but I've done the senior skip day.
Yeah, I didn't personally go off the 60-foot cliff, but someone did, one of my friends, and they tore a bunch of ligaments. I won't name names, but they tore their ACL and MCL in both knees.
Oh my God.
And she has to most likely get surgery, but
it's a
besides
am I allowed to say, is it a female?
Yes. Yeah, it is.
The reason why I say that is we're going to make up a name. So we're going to call her, Cliffette. No disrespect by saying it like that, because she's jumped off a cliff. Let's pray for a girl that jumped off the cliff. Let's have the Have Faith family reach out and pray for this young girl, that the reconstruction of the knees at such a young age. So sorry, go ahead. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
So a bunch of us, my friends and I, one of my friends is a lifeguard. I take a class with him now. He was there. His brother was there. He's an Eagle Scout, and he pulled her out of the water. By the time he got to her, she eventually stopped swimming and started going under because she was about to pass out from shock.
Oh my God.
And he said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to hook you under the arm and bring you over. So I pulled her out of the water. Matt jumped off the cliff and then swam over because they all three jumped off, but she's the one who got hurt. So we pull her out of the water, and she has a broken knuckle on her pinky and her busted knees. And I sat there and I said, well, what do I do? And, I'm saying all this stuff, and it'll make sense at the end, but long story short, we splintered her knee, ambulance came, dragged her out. But at that moment, I thought, like, wow, I should really start doing my podcast again. And that's a weird thing to think at that time.
No, I don't think so. I think that's I say this a lot on my show. You have a gift. Then you have a talent, and sometimes things have to happen in the craziest way for things to make you wake up, whether that's a podcast, whether that's just saving a life. Well, you know what? Let's leave that for another day. Folks, have faith, let it begin, family. We're going to reiterate this story. We're going to call it Saving a Life, and we'll talk
Mhm.
about that. Save it, and we'll do it on your show. Let's do it on your
Okay.
show. So, if you want, I would love to come on and we'll do it a simulcast. But let's launch it on your show. Let's do that on your show.
100%.
And
Totally.
then
I'm
and then
totally
what we'll
down.
do is we'll do the real story on your show, and then we'll recap it on mine, and then we'll talk about that. Let's save that for another day. That's
Okay.
because there's a lot of meat there, and quite honestly, we got to get together and talk about that, and maybe one day we bring the
Yes.
girl on.
Yes, I would love to bring her on. I'd have to ask her and stuff, but
Wow.
to the end point there was I
Of
thought
course.
about the podcast and I was like, why would I think this right now? But then I realized I was meant to do the podcast for a reason. It wasn't just one of those quick ideas where I was like, oh, I'll do it for a little bit and then just give up.
Yeah.
I mean, I really put my soul into this and money as well. I bought some things for the show and then I kind of just stopped and I felt bad that I stopped. But that kind of brought my perspective back to it where, I mean, during track season, I had someone ask, hey, when's your next episode? And I was like, oh, I didn't even realize you listened to it. I mean, I'll get back on it.
Wow.
And they were serious about it. I thought they were joking, but a bunch of them were like, yeah, we actually listened to it. And they were like one of the popular kids, if you still
Yeah.
want to call people that or whatever. But
The
I
A crowd, the B crowd, I get it.
yeah. So I thought it would be a good idea to do this. So of course I texted you and I wanted to start with us again as a good re-entry point because it's very easy to talk to you and you're very understanding and you get where I'm coming from.
Right.
So
I appreciate
that made it really, really easy for me to tell you this story and tell you where I've been for the past 4 or 5 months of my life.
Wow. Well, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna get involved. We're gonna set some times. We're gonna set some dates, and I'm gonna stick to them, not you. I'm gonna stick to them, and I'm gonna help you revamp. We're gonna get you back on track. We're going to have all the Have Faith family go on and follow you. So that's a important thing. Have Faith family, please. I'm gonna put the description. It's actually already on our website. Nothing to something. So it's important. And we really need you guys to support him. He's got a lot more to say, and he's not even just started. He's about to get started.
I'm just as far into it. I'm just a little bit into it. There's a lot more to that story and more stories during that 5-month period that I haven't told yet. But
yeah,
I'd be very excited and happy to tell everyone about those.
Well, I got some days coming up. I got some days off, so we'll talk about that offline. And it's literally this week and next week. So we'll get started. We'll get a couple episodes under our belt. I'll bring you back. We're going to cut this here short because you got to go to your ceremony. I've been trying to.
Yes, I do in a few minutes.
Yep. We're going to keep track of the time. So everybody, if they're just joining us, this is a really an impromptu episode that was something that we had to get on the air. And it was funny because I almost canceled again because I couldn't get my daughter down, and I'm just trying to get ready for tonight's episode, which later on they'll be like, what do you mean tonight's episode? We're filming this on June 18th. So I'm literally about an hour and a half away from going to the live audience edition, but I wanted to do this. And now I know why something told me to do it, because I had no idea you were going to drop this on me.
Yeah. So, I had a big, big mic drop right there. So
yeah, no, and that's good because that's what I love about my show. And that's what your show's about. We talk about real life stuff. So listen, for everybody out there, let's keep Matt H in prayer. Let's keep his show in prayer. Let's keep that young girl in prayer, and praise God for all the other guys that were there, the Eagle Scout, the others that were there that went into action and helped save a life. Be on the lookout. We will definitely do an episode about that. It's called Saving a Life. And we'll also follow up on his show and be a guest on his show, and hopefully talk to them too. Everybody, congratulations, Matt, in advance for graduating also, which will be coming up, and also for tonight in your honors. May God be with you. May he shine his light upon you and give you peace of mind, of course, and peace on earth to all of those. So I'll let you have the last word.
All right. just keep your mind open. Don't doubt yourself on things you feel like you can't do. I've been saying that a lot recently. You think you can't do something. Chances are you can do it better than you expect or better than what most people can do. So that's what I've been figuring out. And that could be a later episode as well. Just keep your mind open and don't give up so easily.
True.
Give yourself time.
And as a fellow guy who's been hurt before, I say this recently a lot. Relationships are difficult, but as long as you're true to yourself, true to her, and have always used the line of communication, you will never, ever fail. Do not be a thermometer, be a thermostat. Control your environment.
I like that. I like that one a lot.
Yes. So if you need any help, let me know. Everybody else, have a good day. And never forget, have faith. Let it begin.
Let it begin.
That's it. Thank you for listening to another episode of Have Faith, Let It Begin. That's right, Ariel. We're done with another show. And it's always great to have this show with you, man love. You know, we're going to encourage each and every person to listen to our show every single weekday. That's right, you and I are going to help change the world. Do you think that you can do that for me? Huh? Yeah, you know you can. She does. We want to let you know, and yes, we encourage you to listen to our show each and every weekday, and it's going to be live at 7:30. Make sure you're subscribed to our show. Make sure you get ready, fasten those seatbelts, because Ariel and I and my family are going to bring you a new topic, a new story each and every day, right? Isn't that right, Ariel? Yeah. And she's smiling at me. Guys, enjoy your day.